Not too many people are aware of the Ho Chi Minh Trail that you had to go through to play 4 games in the short period of time that you had to do it, and to go through Darien first at Turkey Bowl, which is always a big game for us, and then to come back on the following Tuesday to go through Killingly, one of the top teams in the state, and then to actually play what should have been the state championship game against a team that was ranked, I think, in the top 2 for the most of the year, Maloney, which was a very physical game, and then to win that at the very end again, and then to go into the state championship to try to beat Darien all over again, which hasn't been done in I don't know how many years, but to go through that and to find a way at the end of the year to, when you're down, to pull it out says something special. Just pull it out the same way you did against, and you almost did against Shelton, which is probably my fault that we didn't. But then to come back in overtime and to beat a really good Wilton team, and then to pull it out against Maloney, and then to do it all over again, like 4 days later, and do it in the state championship, it says so much about the character, the heart that you guys have. I will always remember you, and I apologize for the Shelton game because I feel like I blew that for you, but you guys have been so good and have left us so much of a culture that we just want to carry on forever. And even in the loss, you were classy, and in the win against Maloney, you got recognized for the sportsmanship and the empathy that you had for the other team. I just can't say, I wish I could freeze you guys and bring you back forever as long as I coach, because you've been that good. God bless you. Ryan Axon. The Axon boys in general, if I had 11 Axons, I don't think we'd ever lose a game. Smart, tough. Ryan especially is a guy who shows up every single day, a guy you can really count on, helped us out in special teams. And whenever he did, he made something happen. He was a guy that you'd love to have as a teammate, guy that was always ready to go, tough, just unbelievably savvy as far as his position, his responsibilities. He's a guy that you'd love to have as a teammate. Ryan Axon. Ryan Barnard. Ryan is our Sikorsky Marr Award winner, guy that you can really count on. He's a guy that's undersized, but started at linebacker as one of the, can diagnose plays. Also, our long snapper has come through in many, many big situations. Ryan is one of those guys that, probably at one time wanted to quit football because he was too small, and people tell you you're too small, you can't do this, you can't do that. But yet, in the biggest game of the year, with us down in the state championship game, somehow he finds a way to get to their quarterback, to cause a fumble, and then recover the fumble. He basically won us a state championship with his hard play. But yet, everybody would say, oh, he's too small, he can't do this, he can't do that. And he was too small to be a linebacker. But he found a way, and he found a way to get it done. I'm just so proud of what he's done and how much he's given us. Ryan Barnard. Alex Benevento. If you want to talk about a guy that makes coaches look good, a competitor, a guy that has done it all on offense, on defense, on special teams. Certainly, I can't remember a player that has done so much and been so responsible for our team's success. He certainly made the coaches look good. There are certain guys that have a switch, and I've seen this switch with Alex, and I've seen it turn on, and when he turns it on, he's very difficult to stop. He is a guy that has returned so many kickoffs, so many punts, so many pick sixes that we've had. I mean, he's done it all for us, and a guy that certainly is one of the better players in the state, if not the best. In my opinion, he's the best player in the state for all that he's done for us, and he has that switch, which is why I know he's going to be very good going forward, no matter what he decides to do, and I hope he does try football at Brown. Luke Bopp, free safety. If you were to look at Luke, you would think that maybe he's a cross-country runner or some guy that's a tennis player or something like that. But when you look at him on the football field, especially at free safety back there, he's had a number of key interceptions, has won us some games all by himself with his smart play and his ability to make sure that everybody's in the right spot. He's really done a tremendous job for us. Luke is one of those guys that you can really count on, especially when the chips are down. Luke Bopp. Miles Chisholm. Miles was a guy that I wasn't sure as a junior whether he's going to be able to do it or not. But he came out and he just absolutely not only won the position, but won the hearts of all the coaches. His intense play, his smart diagnosis of what's going on, and his sheer effort getting to the quarterback and shutting down the run. I'm not sure how you replace a kid like Miles Chisholm. He was absolutely fantastic for us, and I know he's going to do well at the college level. And one thing you have to know, Miles, is that your dad is so proud of you. You know, he was playing alongside you every game. Awesome. He's so proud, and we're so proud of you. Great job. Kai Kopanek, the consummate team player, guy that shows up for work every single day, guy that's willing to do anything that's asked from him, has helped out in special teams, has done a number of things with the scout team, has truly helped. A guy that probably goes unnoticed a lot, but does so much in the practice itself to help us become a better team. Kai Kopanek. Jake Fox, another team player, and you could say this about all our seniors, but Jake is ready to go every game, and then all of a sudden, in the biggest game of the year, he finds himself as a starter at Turkey Bowl. And not only, I mean, he did a tremendous job at holding down his side of the line and had tremendous effort. He's done so many good things for us that go unnoticed. But a guy that is 100% behind the team and has tremendous character and is a guy that we're going to miss next year. Jake Fox. Thomas Garcia, captain. Guy that had to come off an ACL injury last year, worked his way back. Hopefully he's going to continue to play football and lacrosse at Washington and Lee next year. But he was the anchor of our defense, a guy that you can always count on for a great pass rush when he's blitzing, pass coverage, and a solid tackler. A guy that really made our defense what it was this year. And as many people know, defense is where our team has made its reputation. So I don't know how you replace a guy like Thomas Garcia. We're going to miss him. Logan Gilbert, one of my favorite guys, a guy that has been around and been such a team guy, and a guy that you can count on. If you put him wherever you put him, you know he's going to give you 110%. I have to admit that there are times that I just am bewildered by him forgetting helmets or something stupid like that. But as far as a guy that's a teammate that you can count on, that if you need something, he'll be there for you. And a guy that just helped make our team what it was. Logan Gilbert. Will Langford. Will is one of our receivers and a guy you could always count on to be in the right place at the right time. He's done so much over the past 2 years as a 2-year starter, and is a guy that you can be confident that if you throw him the ball, he's going to come up with a big catch. He's done an awful lot this year. Will has a canny knack of getting open, as you can notice in the state championship game. He went into a position that he normally isn't in, but he understands the patterns and the way it works, and he was able to run this wheel route that he got himself open and made just a tremendous catch to help us tie the game and eventually win the state championship. And a guy that we're going to try to replace. I don't know how you replace a guy like Will Langford. Jacob Leibowitz. Lebo. I don't know of a guy that has done more for us as far as being there every single day, willing to do any job, willing to play any position, willing to do anything that we needed to have done. And there were times I know he was down and even thought about why is he even there. But I will tell you this about Lebo. He will be very successful in life, mainly because of his persistency and his ability to hang in there and learn as he goes. We're going to miss Lebo. He's a great teammate. Owen Lyden, captain. Here's a guy that you talk about diagnosing things, and especially on the field. I wasn't sure about him, and certainly I wasn't sure what kind of a captain he was going to be. But he has stepped up and done so much for us off the field as well as on the field. We missed him in the Turkey Bowl game, but Jake Fox had stepped up and done a good job. And then in the first playoff game, but then he came back and played against Maloney, and kind of solidified our defense again. A guy that very difficult to replace, not only as a captain but as an outside backer. He's done a tremendous job. We're really going to miss him. Juan Martinez. I saw Juan in the hallway last year, and I saw this big body, and I said, you should come out for football. And he came out for football, but I think, I'm not sure why, he came out, he said, I want to try it. And he didn't have very much success right off the bat. But then he worked through the weight room in the off season, and he's a guy that, was loved. I think he loves football. I think he loves playing the game. He's learned a lot, and I think for his experience, his football experience, he's going to be a better person for the hard work ethic that he has, his ability to get along with people, and just to being a great teammate. I love Juan Martinez. He's awesome. Keegan Noon, right tackle. Talk about a guy that stepped in, and we weren't sure, where he was going to play. We thought he was going to play more on defense, but very much like Flynn Coffey the year before, stepped up, became a starter, started every single game. Has done a tremendous job at learning the blocking schemes and helping Adrian out right next to him. Done a great job with having to be that one of those anchors on the offensive line, which was one of our strengths on offense this year. So I don't know how you replace a guy like Keegan Noon. We're going to miss him. Great effort, great character. We're going to miss Keegan Noon. Charlie O'Connor. My heart just breaks for Charlie. I mean, one of the top college prospects and football players that we had, and to lose his whole season in the first 4 minutes of our first game, and for all the work that he put in and the great year that he had as a junior, and then to have it all taken away. But Charlie would show up every day, try to help out where he could. He was on crutches most of the time after he had the operation, but a guy that you can look for in the college ranks. He's going to be a really good college player. He's going to prep a year next year, but my heart just breaks for him, but he stayed around, stayed with us, and done everything he could. Charlie O'Connor. Brady Pesaturo. Brady is a guy that, another great teammate that comes out every single day, makes sure he knows what he's doing, makes sure that he knows where the other people are and how to coach them up. He's a guy that I wish he had come over on offense a little bit more to be a guard for us, but he's learned an awful lot, and whenever he was called upon, he was right there to take up that slack on the defense. And a guy that I think is better off for having played football and has been a great teammate for us, has helped us out in special teams. Just a guy that, so typical of all the senior class as being a great teammate and a great team member. Dylan Pryor, a guy that wasn't going to play football in the very beginning, and then we had a number of discussions, and finally he was convinced. He convinced himself, but I think he's one of the better athletes in the senior class. I don't know whether he thought I was just telling him that or not, but then he came out and became our starting running back and really came across with a number of touchdowns and really came up big for us. And I just, there are a lot of kids that decide not to play, and the memories that he has of his senior year being a running back and running the touchdowns that he did and the key gains that he made to get us first downs and things like that. I'm so glad that he came out. He fit right in with the senior class. Great teammate, hard worker. We're going to miss Dylan Pryor. Ben Reagan. Ben is the anchor of our offensive line. He's our captain. He's a guy that last year I thought he was one of the best linemen in the state. This year I think he's outdone himself. I hope that he gets the recognition that he deserves. Guy that is going to go to Johns Hopkins next year. I think he's going to have a fantastic college career. I'm so excited to watch him play. The good news is we have his young brother Henry coming right behind him, so hopefully we can fill in where Ben leaves. I can't say enough about all that he's done and how serious he's been about football and this football program. I thank you. Great job. Luke Reed, talk about a guy that, I think has so much potential. As a college football player, has done so much for us. His punting ability for us, I think is good enough to be on a college or maybe even beyond that if he works at it and he's able to really focus in. He's also a tremendous lacrosse player. He's been a tight end for us. He's made some key catches. And when we go to our jumbo package and we need short yardage, he's right there and he gets right behind those guys. He's done so much for us, and I think he has so much potential. I believe he's going to prep next year, and I think another year of football is only going to help him. But a guy that's been a really good teammate, and it's been so good to watch him get more and more confident as the year has gone on. He's been tremendous for us. Luke Reed. Walter Schmitz. He's another guy that you're not sure where he's going to play, and especially last year, I wasn't sure whether he was going to play on offense, on defense, but when we started out the year, we put him in at a defensive tackle, and I mean, he was the 3 defensive down linemen, I think, are 3 of the best we've had at one time ever here at New Canaan High School. And his intensity, and he's so hard to move, he's so strong. He's done such a great job. Very, very difficult to block, and a guy that finds his way to the quarterback one way or the other. I know he's created a lot of headaches for the offensive linemen that he's faced. His toughness, his persistence to get to the quarterback and stop the run has been unbelievable. Again, I don't know how you replace a guy like Walter Schmitz. Benj Sibbett, team captain, our center, guy that had to recognize all the defenses, a guy that had to make sure the ball got back to the quarterback, which is not easy when you have thousands of people watching you, and you got to make sure that the people to your right and to your left know what they're doing. Guy that he's made practices fun with some of his analogies and some of his insights on things, and has been a really good player in this league. He's done so much for us as a team leader, especially in the locker room, and helped out with so much of our team building and the culture that we have. I'm not sure how you replace a guy like Benj, but we're going to try, but it's going to be hard. Carter Seipel. Carter was able to overcome injuries his junior year, and I wasn't sure exactly what was going to happen with Carter, but you talk about a guy that has overcome so much to play. His love for the game has created a player that is going to go on to college at Denison, and I think he's going to do great things there. He's strong, he's durable, and had to really overcome and work hard at stretching, at working out, and becoming stronger. He was a guy that was one of our best 3 down linemen, defensive tackles that we've had, and he really had a tremendous senior year after a very disappointing junior year. But he came out to be one of the better, players in our league, I believe. Cooper Smith, running back. If you want to talk about a guy that can run the zone play or has speed enough to the outside, he truly is a guy that can do it inside or outside, and a guy that has done so much as far as on special teams, as far as punt returns, things like that, kickoff returns. A guy that is really a true teammate, a guy that shows up every single day. He's also a very good lacrosse player, and a guy that has been one of those guys that we count on every single day to do what he does. As a guy that is undersized, he's very scrappy. He's a guy that's tough to bring down, and he's shifty. So you're not sure exactly, you think he's down, but he pops out of the pile, and he's able to go for extra yardage. He's done so much for us. Cooper Smith. Jack Wolpers. Jack is one of those guys that waited so long, and I don't know why. They say, well, he was too small or whatever, but here he is, 6'3", and he learned the passing game and was at a point where we were really starting to count on him and use him, and he got hurt and unfortunately ended his season early, but he was really coming along. He has so much potential. He's talking about possibly playing in college. I hope he does. It's going to be hard, but he's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. And he's a guy that, it would be tough to cover if he continues to get himself in a position where he can play. And I think he will. I think if he decides, he will do a very good job at the next level if he wants to. But I'm so sorry you waited so long to come out, because the potential that you have is awesome.